Welcome to the Wild Magic School Bus. This is Liz, but you may know me better as Ohiana. This Dungeons & Dragons podcast may contain fantasy violence, language, and adult themes. Content warnings can be found in the episode description. Now, if there's nothing else, Liz, I'd like to get on with things.
Because it looks like you've already warmed yourself up. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wild Magic School Bus, the most unprofessional D&D podcast you will ever hear. I, of course, am your DM, Calvin Piper, and these fools play D&D with me for some reason. Let's go ahead and introduce themselves, starting with
me,
whoever volunteers.
One of the quiet ones.
Hi, I'm the other Will. I play Aramer, the Leonin Blood Hunter.
I am Michelle Piper, and I play Kenneth Quinn, the rootin' tootin' human ranger.
Name's Cliff, and I'm usually Will.
This is Drew, and I play Zeph.
I'm Liz, I play Ohiana the Tiefling Bard.
Hello, my name's Preston, and I play Lucius Kane. Oh, there you hear that whistle? Azamar Warlock.
I'm back! My name is Matt, but I play TBD, the male variant human monk level 5.
Yes, thank you, and welcome back, Matt. So, I have nothing of note to say other than we should probably go ahead and jump into tonight's episode 26 of the Godscar Chronicles.
Whoa!
So the last time we were here, our adventurers had uncovered quite the backstory for Glyph and Zeph. After rescuing an old companion of theirs, a draconian named Balefire, the party learned that the story they had been told, well, the two draconians, the story they had been told was not true. They indeed had been built by Emeraldi to be used by the Union, and Emeraldi, for one reason or another, sent them away. And the story they were told, the massacre at a mining camp, the failure of their duties, was all a cover-up by something or someone. And with that knowledge and Balefire's encouragement, the party... Well, the Draconians decided that they needed to retrace their steps and go back to where it all began to see if they could learn the truth about what was going on. So they spoke to their patron, Galen Tolliver, and secured passage to the last portion of civilization in the Brasslands before hitting the continent of Krakodar, the city known as Métal. On the way there, on the airship that they took, the party was accosted by a rather large bird, a rock, not a giant boulder.
It's not dry.
I thought the bird dropped a boulder.
No, he's gonna devour.
Common mistake. But the bird attacked the ship, and the party was successful in removing the danger and making their way to Métal in one piece to continue searching for a city that has been lost to time. And that is where we find ourselves tonight. So,
I have a question.
yes,
Glyph had finished my spellcasting focus.
Correct.
You said you would make it available to be in inventory.
you know, I did.
Look at the smirk on his face.
Dude, we'll work on it. We'll work on it. Do you just want to call it a +1 spellcasting focus for the moment? Okay.
+1? Can it not be a +2?
Oh my god.
Wow.
We were gonna workshop
you know,
like cool magical effects for your +1, but go ahead, have your normal ass +2.
No, but I mean, it has black steel and...
That is true.
It was a crafted nat 20.
And made with love.
It wasn't crafted nat
Allegedly.
20.
Yeah, I rolled a nat 20.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
So, we will say for now, I was going to make you roll for it, but you have proven yourselves.
Your
valid
arguments are sound.
Yeah, your
Liz
arguments
came
are sound.
loaded.
She did.
Both
guns.
barrels tonight.
I'm gonna get what I want, Will.
Speaking of recap stuff, there was a terrible, terrible dream that Ohiana had. Just want to leave that out there. And that's where we find ourselves, but yes, you have a +2 arcane focus.
Yeah, screw
with
bad
some-
dreams. You got a cool weapon.
Yeah, but that is last thing on your mind right now, hopefully. But that is where we find ourselves as the ship docks in Métal. And as you guys look out over the balcony to the city itself, what you can see is this massive fortress-like building made of stone and wood, looking probably decades, if not centuries old. These old rotting towers kind of crumbling and falling down, but it does stand tall above the rest of the city. The other thing you notice is a mass of canvas tent tops that stretch from the fortress out into the city itself, almost like these large kind of square and rectangle canvases that stretch out as like a roof, essentially, across a majority of the city, all stemming from the fortress itself. So basically like this weird large awning that goes around it. And the first thing that hits you as you see this site and see this kind of ramshackle-esque city is the smell. You're hit with the scent of pungent like smoke and damp earth, and it just permeates the air around you. Although no signs of smoke anywhere that you can see. But as the ship
It's a
docks...
whiskey distillery.
Yes, there you go, you figured it out.
Heat and smoke.
As the ship docks, you can see there are a few other ships all positioned here, but there are dozens of carts that are all lined up near this port. And you can see that there are workers, hundreds of workers moving in throughout here, all of them carrying large containers or small barrels filled with a dark gray material. And you can see they loading this material onto ships or into these carts. And these are carts that you immediately recognize as something very unique, as they're mostly fully made of metal. And each one is loaded carefully with this material, carefully documented, and you can see that as they're locked, actually one of them you can see on the dock itself is being loaded and accounted for, and as it closes, one gentleman walks up to it and begins to mutter something and move his hands in a certain motion, and you watch as this lock locks on the back of the cart and this arcane rune flashes, and then the wagon begins its trail out, and you can see there's a long line of like I lost the word. There's a long line of
Wagons,
but in different I was gonna say pattern, but that's not the word I'm thinking
order.
Formations.
No, it's
Amalgamations.
It's like every so often. I'm trying to
Intermediately.
That's
intermittently.
Thank you. There's like an intermittent
guys.
drove of wagons that go out like 4 or 5 each time, and you see them. And it's a line that goes down the Black Road, which is the road that you guys followed here in the airship. But it seems like they're being transported in, and if anybody inquired, the captain of the ship would explain that this is the hub for all of the deep iron that is harvested from Crocodile and brought to the Brasslands, and here it is carefully documented, examined, and then shipped to Mecha City, where it is then refined into its final form, which is black steel.
This isn't even my final form.
Is that a Pokemon reference?
Yes, it is.
Love Pokemon. The card playing game.
I don't even have the heart to.
No, it's fine. Just let it happen.
Stands for.
Have you seen that they have foil ones?
What's that?
Foil Pokemon.
Okay, now you're just trying to be
Yeah,
ignorant.
they do. You can sell them for a lot of money too.
Showing off. I didn't know.
But yeah, so that is what you see as you immediately land in the city. But the city's yours. The captain thanks you all again for your help and bids you good luck on your adventure. But the city's yours. You can do whatever you want to do.
What do we want to do?
The city is ours. I mean, we take all the black iron and we're rich.
No, actually, none of that.
I've forgotten why we're here.
Well, there's this whole Emeraldi may be alive. We need to find the old lad.
Got it.
Yep.
I'm
Like
back.
the casket opens with a little note, and then I take the note and I'm like, It says here, should talk to priest about Vic Ferron.
Nailed it.
All right.
Grabs the note, pulls it back.
Yeah, I mean, Balefire's kind of like a incendiary time bomb, so the sooner we can get him to, presumably, Emeraldi, the sooner he can kind of... No offense, mate, don't be weird about this. Fix him, Not that you're broken, you're great, plastic bag in the wind.
But I could explode at anybody.
Exactly, that's kind of...
Right,
it's a liability.
Broken.
Yes.
Yeah.
OP, some would say.
But not, like, destroyed into little bits.
No, you can be, like, remade,
Yeah.
But are you not curious whether you have any other surviving companions?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I feel like Emeraldi would probably know if
Maybe you'll find something there.
What's your heart song telling you?
I'll make a check. I'll make a heart song. It's a natural 19.
That's 15.
What's his heart
15?
color?
Sorry, it's runic.
No,
Is it here?
Bill,
Something there?
Drop it.
Nice drop.
No, your heart song's not as good, buddy.
I have a very high... No, it said +8.
The heart
so
song?
that's 14.
What's the plus for
Charisma.
I rolled a 13.
What did you roll
intimidation?
I rolled a
intimidating
15.
my heart.
Oh, okay.
And -2 to charisma though.
What is your heart song?
What was your intimidation? Well, mine's my intimidation.
Oh, my heart song. I don't know.
Acrobatics, that thing's
Your heart song is whatever your passion is. So your passion is whatever your
Mine would probably be intelligence.
Yeah.
Because, Okay, so hey,
Yeah,
that's
make
a 19.
that argument.
Yeah, let's continue to put benchmarks on this totally arbitrary check that we made.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking into my heart song, I'd probably pull some of like my measuring tools out. Like my protractor.
You don't have to explain what it is. You can just say heart. Apparently, heart song's a thing now, so we'll
I
move
think
that.
what happens
is
whenever
back
we
later.
use our heart song is like a Care Bear.
Like a Teletubby.
Like a symbol representing our heart song lights up on our abdomen.
Mine's a TV screen.
They don't have those.
Yep.
Not yet.
No, mine is a TV screen, and it just It starts from wherever it left off of the recap of when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. So you guys are seeing shit from the Texans game, and we were getting all
Yeah, and then you tap it, and it's like it plays LL Cool J's Mama's
I have a spell card called Heart Song.
Mine's
Can I
just
cast
the
it on-
meanest face you've ever seen. It's just a mean face.
Oh, that's a mean mug.
Yeah.
With a 19 heart song check, you can tell there are 2 other draconians in your immediate vicinity.
Damn.
But
Where?
there is a
Where are they?
There is a faint hope that if other draconians were sent away when Emeraldi transported them all, then they would be back home. So there's a hope there.
Well, I mean, it presents a difficult predicament because we had a name before and we were part of like an elite unit, and now we've got a unit that's yet to be determined if it's elite, doesn't have a name, but just is ambiguous.
Yeah. Well, I think 2 things can exist at the same time perfectly fine. You just have to keep an open mind about it, and we can pursue the resolution to this mystery of what happened to us with our new companions without any kind of conflict of interest. Like, one can actually help inform the other.
Yeah, my heart song confirms, I think. Yeah. My heart's holler.
Look, they're all growing heart songs.
I feel it.
They're all growing heart.
I'd really appreciate it if everyone else could check their heart song and we could see if it's legitimate.
My heart song's very faint.
Excuse me, those of us with emotional intelligence don't have to roll to check for our heart song. It just perpetually happens.
Hey,
They just know what it is. They understand.
I mean, the thing is, when you... Oh, no. What happened?
He has no emotional
Did
intelligence.
Tabini
so
roll in that
roll.
one?
No.
All he knows is violence. That's what I'm talking
Tabini's
about.
wondering if his heart actually sings.
So, at any rate, it makes sense what you're feeling. That we had our minds wiped basically, and Balefire, he had some bad stuff happen that's kind of hampered his ability to essentially find home. But who knows how many of them got away freely without any damage or complication, and they would do what we're now doing, which is go home, regroup.
That's fair. All right. Well, I feel satisfied.
All right. Can I make this? Where are priests in this town?
I love it. I just love the innocence of that question.
Why don't we find a place to bed down for the night and then explore?
Hey,
Is it evening?
No, I mean like tonight we're gonna want to bed down, right?
Perhaps.
Yeah, and it might be a good idea to put Balefire like not in public.
It is afternoon at this point because it's a 4.5 day travel using the airship. So it's about
half
afternoon.
day.
Yeah,
Waking
this
up
is you're at the back end of the day right now. You've got several hours before it will be night. So if you want to find a place and then continue to explore, you're more
Did
than
we
welcome
not
to do
rest
so.
since?
No.
Do we need to?
Wait, since the rock battle? Yeah, we
the rock
did.
battle?
That was
Yeah.
like day 2.
Yeah, it was day 2 of the travel. You have 2.5 days of
I almost being a silly goose. Every time I close my eyes, I think of Reggie. So I'm traumatized.
Oh, the bird.
Yeah, I named him Reggie for some fucking reason.
Well, you stared at him for 2 days. You had a bond.
I mean, and you didn't blink for 2 days as you stared at this.
Literally, his image is burned into your rib.
Your heart song is now a bird.
He literally is.
It's like you can't see everything around him. You can just see him. That's all.
Oh my gosh, you're like Raceland from Dragonlance.
Yep.
His
good
irises
reference.
were
Good pull.
hourglasses, or his pupils were
So he
hourglasses.
saw the decay of everyone, even those who had prolonged lives.
It's
like
amazing,
elves.
amazing, so good. Not gonna geek out.
Except for his girlfriend, later wife, who...
Spoilies.
If you haven't read Dragonlance yet, I highly recommend it. Not a sponsor. So, you guys are looking
If you're
for...
13,
Margaret
you
Weiss, if you're
gotta
listening.
read it.
Is that a Pokemon
You are
thing?
13 or you feel like you're 15.
Yeah.
You should go read Dragonlance. So you guys are looking for a place to stay. Easy enough to do. After a quick questioning around, you are immediately directed to the largest of the inns to stay at, called the Silver Chair. And as you approach, you can see what looks to be 2 large buildings, probably 4 stories tall, setting a bit away from the road, giving it a little bit of like a grass courtyard appearance. And you can see these 2 buildings are connected by a large kind of bridge or balcony that maybe stretches about 40 or 50 feet across, which leaves this large dining area, open kind of common area in the center of it, covered by the bridge and some foliage that grows from there. And there are a lot of people. You can see with these buildings probably can hold 100 or so individuals, and there looks to be about that many kind of milling in and throughout here. Some look to be locals. You can see most locals all kind of have the same sooty appearance because most of the people here are working with the deep iron, transporting it, moving it, cutting it, loading it, offloading it. So everyone seems to kind of have a coal miner like sooty appearance.
It's like West Virginia.
Do what that?
It's like the entire state of West Virginia.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like 40 years ago. Now they just all have no teeth. And
Back then.
I am
fact,
so sorry about that, listeners. That was
If
not
you're from
cool.
West Virginia, Drew is apologetic.
They don't have the internet.
I
yet,
love
we're good.
that beautiful state and its beautiful people.
And their beautiful teeth.
Wow, Will.
I had to redirect the heat from you. You're too wholesome.
Yeah, good
Fair.
But you can see there are other individuals that looks like they're staying here, traveling merchants, people of higher station. This town does not look like it has much travel other than the commerce, but from what you can see, it looks to be a fairly busy establishment.
Are we the only non-humanoids?
Make a perception check for me, if you would be so kind.
I think we're all humanoid.
We are.
I mean,
2
more or
legs,
less.
2 arms, 1 head.
Yes, but she's referring to the...
Are you talking about horns of scales?
Yes. She's looking for the non-exotic variety.
Like the boring variety.
I mean, kind of guys kind of are.
16?
See, I was going to ask him.
Yes.
Like,
over here they are.
How
16.
Yeah.
diverse is this group? But
I mean, for a group of individuals, you are probably the most diverse
no,
group.
the group in the town. Like what she's at.
Yeah, so with the 16, you can see the majority of individuals here seem to be humanoid or humanoid adjacent. There does seem to be a larger consistency of orc or hobgoblin humanoids, and half orc, obviously adjacent. But most of them don't really give you a glance. A few of you draw some stares. Obviously, the Draconians, they themselves with their bright colors and just non-human
cool.
forms. They are something to look at.
Yeah.
The tieflings get a glance, but not anything out of the ordinary. But still no signs of anything predominantly elven. A few shorter individuals that look like they may have some dwarf blood in them, stockier, shorter people, but no pure dwarves that you've seen.
Are there any gnomes?
A few gnomes, one or two.
I might have a conversation with. No, that's just going to be like a completely racist implication that they're going to be intelligent and be able to help me with my stuff. Never mind.
Whoa.
Yeah. Hey, you're a gnome. You're probably good at stuff. Nope.
It's possible.
You're not going to be that guy.
Maybe you could keep an eye out for one that looks kind of
One that has like a pocket protector.
One that looks like he's
and a gun.
But yeah, predominantly humanoid. Not a lot of exotic individuals. So, which again is not uncommon for the Brasslands. But if you ever come across one, you won't have to roll perception. You will notice the first time you come across a non-humanoid or a more exotic creature.
Hey, how do you guys feel about doing like some gambling when we get back to the silver chair? You know, it seems like this is the kind of rebel that would like to throw around some
Probably
coin for
not
stuff.
much, buddy.
I have $200 left.
Oh, wow, you're rolling in it.
What does that translate to in gold?
Is this a gambling instead?
Oh, yeah, sorry. 200 gold.
The silver share?
Yeah.
You can ask if you can certainly ask them if you
I think
want.
we should ask it if it is a gambling.
I was just making an inference based off the clientele. You know, usually like hobgoblins
People
and
with
orcs.
money likes to spend money.
Yeah, that's what I was going with.
That wasn't it.
Hobgoblins likes to spend money.
Yeah, I mean they like to gamble and drink and stuff. There I go making assumptions again. That's on me, guys.
I mean,
I'll
at
be
least
better.
no one had to say anything. Like, you caught yourself eventually.
Yeah, I've caught myself twice, which means I've said it twice.
Somebody's pulling potholes arm like a slot machine.
Within like
He does look like a slot machine.
That would be awesome.
I keep pulling this thing's arm, but it just keeps coming up with a dang cold ball.
It comes up with three fists, and he's you lost everything.
Okay, so
Just a bunch of bubbles.
Yeah, the slot machine mugs you.
can I go up to one of the...
Soviet Russia,
what are we
machine
looking for,
slots.
We're looking, yeah, we're looking for a priest. Can I go to like...
Nope.
Since we already like... we at the place now?
Yeah, get a room.
Silver share?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want. Yeah, absolutely.
Can I go
can.
talk to the bartender if you're not
Sure.
Hey, could you ask her if we can
Get some rooms?
roll some dice?
Yeah, we're gonna do one big room.
One big room? You guys okay with that?
If we could, that'd be better.
I don't take that much space.
Top bunk.
I think that's implied at this point.
Yeah, I'll do all that stuff. I write down a note.
Yes, thank you. Tibid's like, Pothole's wanting to fight you for a top bunk,
Oh my
but he
gosh.
realized he weighs 500 pounds inside of his mech, so he's like,
You walk up. You walk into the actually the open common area where most of the people are sitting, and you can see there is a long bar set near the back. Where several bartenders of various kinds are picking up food, picking up drinks, passing them around, and you can see there is one individual who is she is barking out orders and setting up food and drink and passing it out to the others, but she is standing predominantly behind the bar, sees you all come up and like beckons you to approach so she can hear you over just kind of the din of conversation that's going around. But you step up and see standing probably close to 7 feet tall, this just mountain of a woman who takes a towel and like wipes her massive hands off the floor. Like
she's the girl from Game of Thrones.
To be described like that, that's poetry.
as she sets her hands down, she kind of leans a little bit down to like not too far down. 'Cause
I'm
obviously
pretty tall.
You are
Okay.
pretty tall, but she makes eye contact with you and is like, "Can I help you?"
Oh man, I was so into this character.
I wanted her to be an intelligent sound.
I was like distracted by this mountain of a woman.
Yeah, can we have a room for about enough a single room big enough for about how many people are in my group here?
9.
9 people.
I yell as I see him thinking.
I think you made that
Technically
up.
8 plus a coffin.
She kind of she looks
so
at you
nice.
and kind of looks at the group behind you. I don't have a room big enough for 9, but I can give you a couple rooms that'll fit all 9 of you.
Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah, we'll be all right.
Alright.
I mean, it's the option we
How
have.
many nights you planning on staying?
Enough.
Open tab.
Open tab.
Open tab, all right.
Open tab.
I can give you. You want 3 or 4 rooms?
3?
I think 3 will work.
3?
He said a couple.
3 rooms, all right.
Couple 3.
3 rooms and an open tab. I'll run you about 4 silver per room.
Okay. I feel like she's overcharging.
Hey, quick clarification. If she's that tall and has that accent, is her name Mountain Mama?
You haven't asked her name yet.
Anyways, what's your name?
It's just
My name.
Yeah.
My name is Penny.
What's your name?
My name's Lucius.
Lucius.
Yeah.
I ain't ever seen something like you before.
I'm a person.
I'm a real boy.
But you don't look like a real person.
What's that? They're like, I don't know what that means.
You look like you're the Walking Dead, hun.
I thought it was bright and shining and stuff.
Well, you are a spark of joy, but your face looks like it's been dead for years. If I didn't know no better, I'd think you were lich or something.
I get that way more than I should.
That's probably because it's true.
Are you reading the highlights of my dating profile from 2018?
All right. Anyways, also, do you know what any like local like churches like priest people? I don't. I'm not particularly religious, but I'm looking.
You know where they worship the one true God and His Son Jesus Christ, who died to save us from our sins.
Come on,
that kind
take
of
us
church.
there.
I drop a pamphlet. So
I need to just place organ music behind you as you were doing that.
Oh, glory.
You're looking for like a temple or a
That's the
shrine.
ticket.
Temple to Shekinah, if you could.
We got a few of them here in town, depending on who's who and who you follow.
Dwarvish.
Can I make a history check to be able to give him a little bit of help with that?
Sure, make a history check.
I mean, because we dealt with dwarves a lot, and that was the language that I chose.
Sure.
So, 16.
With a 16, you would know dwarves primarily follow who's known as the Allhammer. Given that the Allhammer is the god of construction and a dwarven deity at that, most dwarves would say that the Allhammer is their own personal deity and nobody else's. But obviously, religion has a way of spreading. There's a possibility that shrines to the Allhammer could be in this city, given its proximity to Crocodile, but you wouldn't know off the top of your head.
That's what we're asking Mountain Mama for. No, I just wanted to relay it to...
Yeah, you can relay it.
Yeah, just let him know, like, hey, if you're asking, the Allhammer would be the one we're looking for.
Is it Dwarvish? All father, all hammer.
All hammer, you got it, yeah.
Well,
I'm
those
like
are two
behind
different.
you, just
those
like...
are two different individuals, but I understand what you're going for.
Psst, Lucius. I got it already. All
Listen,
hammer.
what I'll tell you is that there ain't no temple to the Allhammer here. That's a dwarven deity, and most people around here know the treaty of the dwarves means we can't interact with them. But there may be a shrine or two closer to the border that some of the older folks use to honor the Allhammer. You'd have to know where to look, though, so good luck finding it. But we do have a few other temples here in the city. There's the Mother's Touch, which is for the Wild Mother. It's a tree that grows near the northern side of the place. Big old tree that they turned into a temple. You can't miss it. And then there's, oh goodness, I'm trying to think of what the other ones were. There's not many of them here in Métal, unfortunately. If you're looking for religion, you gotta go deeper into the Brasslands. But we do have, we have the Lawbearer too, if you wanna, if you got a temple to the Lawbearer, if you wanna visit that one. I like the sound of the Mother's Touch better.
Yeah, I mean, the Temple of Doom would be cool to visit if we could.
So like,
Oh, Mum Shiba.
do you know the general direction of where we should be heading for the old shrines of the Allhammer?
If there's any in the city, and again, you'd have to know where to look for them. They're going to be closer to the border. It's going to be south of here.
Southward?
South-ish, southwest.
Right. So it says 12 for like just for the night, right? So I'll give you like 12 silver, right? So I'll just give you
12
like
for the night, yep.
Here's 2 gold. Keep the change for the information.
Excellent, I appreciate the patronage. Does that include board as well?
I think
Board, this is for the rooms that you will board in, so yes. I mean...
No, if you want like the actual boards.
yeah, meals are provided if you're
this place is great.
All inclusive. Yes.
I love food.
Yes. Meals are provided on a day-by-day basis. 2 meals a day, 1 in the morning, 1 at night. Common room's always open. People are there drinking, having a general good time. Don't get into fights unless it's a authorized fight. You gotta talk to Hugo. He's the one to know if you want to get into a rough.
Hey, what about a little dice rolling? Could we do a little bit of dice rolling?
Oh, people are gambling money left and right here. You just gotta find a table that people are rolling out or throwing cards down, and you'll get yourself some coin or lose some. The merchants here like to spend it.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
You were right.
Cool. So you guys want to head south and then ask around?
Is that toward the tree?
No. It's northward.
I do have a question.
Of course.
Miss Penny. Miss Penny?
Just Penny.
Penny. All right. So for deep iron, is that like restricted and regulated, or is it just free for anybody and everybody to go find?
You ain't from around here, are you?
No, ma'am.
Where are you from?
That's a great question.
You have it's
a mystery.
It's in my other notes in my written notebook when I was taking written notes and not on these digital.
Goldworth
notes.
is where you're from.
That's what I said. Goldworth. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But how much is
Oh,
it?
you're from the northern side of the Brassland. It's understandable. The deep iron here it's mined by the dwarves. It's the Black Treaty that we have an understanding. The dwarves allow us access to deep metal, and we in turn can supply them with financial means and the promise that we won't ever cross their borders, because they are very particular about that. So the deep iron comes here and then it's shipped off to wherever it's needed. Most of the time goes to Mecca City, but it is highly guarded and highly valuable. So make sure if you do anything, you stay away from the deep iron.
Hey, good enough for me.
When did that treaty come
All right,
into
we need
place?
to work on a little magnet thing where we can
The Black Treaty.
streets where the cars are.
Oh, the Black Treaty has been in effect.
Probably put it on Paul.
The Black Treaty's been in effect since goodness, probably the formation of the Brasslands. This city here used to actually be an old dwarven city, but when the Brasslands became its own country, the dwarves were forced out. This was when the battles took place, and the final battle took place between Fort Blackhold and Fort Gimli, which is the two strongholds that border the lands. One is dwarven, one's human, and that's where they station themselves nowadays, and that's the only way to and from the continents is through those two forts. And the Black Treaty was stipulated so that we didn't cross the dwarves' path, and they in turn provided us with the material that we so desperately needed to, make advancements and what have you. And if ever the day came where the dwarves thought that the treaty would be broken, they would, in their words, erupt their mountain and bury themselves in the mountains, never to be seen again. So we take it pretty seriously here. It's actually close to like a 5-to-1 guard ratio in this city, so just make sure you don't screw up, because most of the military forces are preoccupied with making sure that nothing goes wrong with the deep iron, so...
Duly noted, thank you.
Yep, but good luck. You all staying here for a reason, or you traveling on from here?
Probably traveling on from here.
Yeah, kind of just gonna do some exploring in the Brasslands, look around, see what's out there.
Well, beyond us, it's the border, so there's not much. You gotta head north or south if you're gonna find more civilization or more stuff.
You know of any old dwarven mining encampments that have been abandoned long ago?
Come on, Mountain Mom.
Sorry, honey, the only one I know of is this city here. There may be a few mining facilities that were cropping up many years ago, but most of that's just hearsay, and most of us who live here don't wander beyond much of the city, given the fact that, well, there's really not much place to go.
Are there any, folk historians that we might,
You like local bards with a D at the end of it?
If you're looking for a bard, you could probably find one or two of them singing their lungs out here tonight. Might have a tale or two that might help you, but seems like your tall, scary dead friend here has the right idea to look at the temples. The priests are the ones that have been here the longest. They would know a thing or two about it.
That makes sense. Roland, thank you.
Of course.
Can I look around to see if we're getting any attention that isn't just like a what are these people doing here?
Sure, make a perception check for me.
Perception.
You can do it.
It's okay. 14.
14? Nothing's immediately catching your attention as somebody's watching you, but there are a lot of people here, so they could easily be lost in the
Crowd.
kind of lost in the crowd.
I'm
All
just
right.
keeping an eye out.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with this information armed, what do you guys want to do next?
Southward.
Yeah, I'm just gonna follow Lucius. I feel like he did a good job doing a little reconnaissance.
Does anyone want to make a investigation check if you want to make it, unless someone else is?
Wait,
Who's better? Who's good at investigation?
I have +3. That's
Plus,
Because +4, you can be up ahead, and I'll give you advantage and also guidance.
that's fair. We can
That's
do a little
okay.
looking around. Yep.
Sure, easy enough to
All
do.
right. Little wisp comes up on your shoulders, starts talking.
You know, you would think that that's helpful, but actually it's just like in my ear the whole time. I'm trying to. So 17, 20 in.
21. Yeah, with a 21, easy enough to do. And it's where are you? You're heading to look for shrines at this
Yes,
point.
we're headed south. She said south, right?
Head southwards, then we're probably gonna go talk around and
Okay.
yeah,
So
ask around.
with a 21, you can immediately see the first thing you notice is that there is definitely a very large tree that kind of towers above one side of the city, kind of creating this almost kind of canopy structure off to one side, rising above most things, almost like Pandora tree style. It just looks unnatural to be in this place, almost tropical in this kind of more desolate, open grasslands place. But you can definitely make your way south to see if there's any semblance of a shrine or something like that. And you can see once you clear these canopies that cover the fortress and the more common areas of the city, you begin to find that there are a lot of residential places that people are staying. A lot of them look to be person like duplexes or like complexes that people are staying at. Looks like a lot of people that are here are working or just passing through. It doesn't seem to be like a lot of permanent residencies around here. Even some places where there's just tent cities that have popped up and people kind of living their lives within like a smaller kind of sphere of humanity inside this much larger city. But after about an hour to 30 minutes to an hour of walking, you reach the far end of the city, where you can see this side of the city looks to be a bit more desolate. Most of the buildings that are over here look like they were remnants of what was once a much grander city. Buildings that have now collapsed in on themselves, the wood and stone kind of frames being the only thing that's left of whatever these were. And you can notice immediately that these structures were beautifully created at one point. The fact that they're still standing after, several hundred years is a testament to their craftsmanship. Very different from anything you've seen so far through your journeys in the Brasslands. These masons, whoever built these things, took pride in their work, and it is very beautiful, the designs. But as you're walking through this place, you can notice with a 21, you can see at one point there's what looks to be a large structure. The only thing left of it is just kind of probably 1.5 feet of a framework that kind of layers the bottom of the ground. Most of it's overgrown and covered in grass or leaves. But you can see in the middle of this, there seems to be an area that's been walked through several times, given the fact that there's like little trails through the grass. And there does seem to be set in the middle of this area on a very, very old, stone table with these two large hammers that are resting against the top of it and kind of like leaned against there, creating this kind of altar-esque spot. And you can see as you approach it, the altar there is there's a circle of like patted down like dirt and grass where people seem to walk around it, and across the majority of it there seems to be small trinkets or little inscriptions or pieces of parchment that are like stuck to it. It seems as though this is just a place where people come and pay their respects or say their prayers. And at the moment, as your party arrives, there is nobody here in the immediate vicinity. But you can safely assume, given kind of the place that it's in and kind of the reverence that it's been given, that this is some sort of a shrine or former shrine to the Allhammer.
Hey, I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Primeval awareness covers dragons, elemental, fae, fiends, whatever.
Sure.
Do they ping on my radar? Like when I've used it in the past?
No.
Okay, so they have no dragon ancestry.
They might.
Untrue.
You just did that just to make a dig.
Untrue.
Wow.
Okay.
You would sense a dragon
Questioning
in
our
its
heritage.
You would sense a dragon. These are draconians, which are dragon adjacent.
More magic than anything.
Just curious. Just
But
out of
no,
curiosity.
your primeval awareness specifically locates dragons in their full form, wings and terrifying.
Just wondering.
That's not to say that you don't notice them because they are draconian. That there is some semblance of like there's some similarities in the kind of the buzz that you get, but they are not. It is not the full blown like that's a dragon type thing.
But do you think it could be used to maybe try to identify more of their kind in the area?
Yeah, most certainly. I would say yes if you wanted to use because they are
Hone in on what we do.
to hone in on what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Heart song.
Yeah, that's her version of heart song.
Hone in on our heart song.
There you go.
Hone in on the heart song.
Yeah, I just expend.
Oh my gosh, you guys are the heart
Heart
singers.
song. The what?
That's our names.
That's the party's name.
What is
Heart
it?
song.
Heart singers.
Heart singers.
Now I get to be on the other side of this horrible game.
I was just throwing it out there. I truly don't care. I just keep calling you the party for the rest of this campaign.
So I'll wait.
Something really cool is gonna happen. We're gonna find a name.
I hope so.
I thought the Kobold Tankard was Dizzope.
Cobalt Tankard was a good one. You'll figure it out. I don't want to keep dragging us back into it. So
I'll go ahead
that's
and
fair.
I'll do that. What kind of terrain are we?
Urban.
urban, yeah. You're in the city.
Oh, okay. I thought we were outside.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna play a ranger
That's
where
fair.
like he
Okay,
specializes in
that's
urban
fine.
environments.
There you go.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
I'll go ahead and I'll expend a spell slot then. So for a minute, I have primeval awareness within a mile.
Within a mile.
So you're coming within a mile?
Within a mile.
I'm tasting
Tell me-
the air.
I mean, yeah, if that's the way you do your primeval awareness, that's totally fine. Go
I
ahead.
take in big, deep bear breaths because your nose could tell you things before you're even ever around it.
Not letting you go on that nature walk again. All right, so go ahead and tell me what the description of that is one more time, so I can.
As an action, you can expend a ranger spell slot to sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead are present within 1 mile of you, or within 6 miles if you're in favorite terrain. This feature does not reveal the creature's location or number.
Okay, so within a mile, there is. You can tell there's undead. There is the dragon essence.
Okay.
There is elemental.
Okay.
And there is fae.
There's a lot of different people, and also you doing that next to these guys for that to work the way you want it to. Get everyone, including Balefire, has to be
outside
a
of
mile
the
away
tower.
from you.
Yeah.
Well, I think she can identify
does it work-
us by because she knows us, though.
Does it
I
work
will-
fair? I typically ping too.
I would say that
Yeah.
because she knows
Takes
them,
that
I would not say like, oh, you sense dragon every time.
Okay.
Like if it was a real dragon, I would make it obvious to you. And if there was something pertinent, I wouldn't like hide that behind
sure.
them. But as of right now, I will say the only things that you notice beyond the norm of the things you can sense is elemental, fae, and undead.
Okay.
But not my undead, so it's a different undead. There's more undead. I can. So like we're like we got to the shrine. We're like, damn, there's not anyone around, and then you start.
You start doing some hefty puffs.
So
Okay.
we're still by the tree, right? The tree
No,
is
we're-
by the alpha. Oh no, we went the wrong.
The tree is
Opposite
another direction.
Okay.
Yeah, it is more northing.
Right.
It's not the opposite direction, but it is more north.
Okay.
Than you guys are. You guys basically went. So it's in your mind's eye. This
Yeah.
is southwest, and the tree is northwest. So you kind of are going at an angle.
I see, I
and you
see,
could,
I see.
It would
They're kind
be
of parallel
another
to one
hour.
another.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
kind of. Yeah. Thank you. That's a good way to describe it. But yeah. So you're at the
fine,
shrine.
baby.
You're more than welcome to go around and look at it, or if you guys want to move on, you can do that. Too.
Sure. I mean, let me see. I don't know. There's any dead people around? I can talk to dead people. That's a joke. If there's dead people around, don't tell me because I will die.
I mean, like,
can
what
find them.
should we?
We can make dead people.
True.
That's deep.
I mean, anyone can make dead people. It's not like a...
It's true. It's facts.
Well, damn. Is there not? Can I go? Is there anyone around?
Not right now.
Like, just like okay.
This is a ruin. This is more of a ruins. This is not really like a populated area. But you can see
there's
people
like a Talos worshiper, like a single guy, like outside. Like
I'm gonna walk. As of right now, there's not anybody.
I'm gonna do like an active investigation check. Do a little walking around, see if I can find anything.
Sure.
I'll give you
make an investigation. 9
with help.
I mean, with the walking around the altar and kind of looking around, you can see again there are a few trinkets, some prayers, and a couple of their offerings that are left on and around this altar, but nothing pertinent, nothing
that tells you like you're 100 miles away from your
there's no little sign that says
Allhammer side
50 miles to this and another there's nothing like that.
Beans.
Get right before you
smite. On the ground that's constantly
no arrow on the ground that constantly just keeps pointing in that direction.
So is there...
The heck kind of video game is this?
They should upgrade the infrastructure.
So if we don't have anyone that's
you turned HUD off in the settings, that's why. I love how everyone who plays games with yes, I know that.
What a rushing
until the new game play.
We're playing this in hardcore mode?
Yeah, apparently.
It's okay, guys, I got a cool.
No, we don't have encumbrance on it.
Alright, so...
You don't have encumbrance.
If you enjoy classic D&D and dark fantasy in the tradition of Martin, Tolkien, or Vance, you might enjoy Tale of the Manticore. It's a mashup between an actual play and radio-style storytelling. Made for a mature audience, Tale of the Manticore pulls no punches and lets the dice decide where the story goes, who survives, and who does not. This summer, Tale of the Manticore rolls right into Season 2. There'll be more action, more nostalgic fantasy, and more heartbreak as the dice roll up and probably right over the characters, and the story unfolds as it is being written. If you've wanted to check out the show but the backlog looked like just too much, this is the chance to get into it. I'm starting from scratch. New characters, new plot, same danger. See you this summer.
Since we can't find anyone that's like, priests and stuff, do you think should we go the other direction and like look for like historians or something? Maybe they would know.
I mean, that might be better than nothing.
Because like there's really no one around here.
Yeah, I thought that maybe, we'd catch like one person at least giving some offerings to the Allhammer, since, every dwarf kind of worships them. But
yeah, but it appears that this place has been abandoned for quite a while. So.
No, there's some stuff here. It just seems like it's not like...
every town has a few loonies who think they're talking to gods.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
We can't disprove something.
Yeah, no, I don't talk to gods. I just talk to a dude that his heart's not beating anymore.
I mean, do any of us in this party really believe in anything?
I mean, I think it's really hard to disprove
in myself. Sometimes.
I mean, like deities.
Hard to describe.
Deities for sure exist because there's evidence of that. I've seen some crazy things. So,
but
yes.
Most of them are terrible.
Most of them are kind of assholes and up their booties.
I mean, we believe in the power of friendship. That's kind of gotten us pretty far.
It goes magic, emeraldy, friendship.
Yep, a superior firepower.
Oh, right. Got superior firepower, magic, emeraldy, friendship.
Yep, in that order. We had a big meeting about it. It actually took a few weeks.
Sorry, okay. Superior firepower?
Yes.
Emeraldy?
Yes.
Friendship?
Yes. Wait, no. Superior firepower, magic, emeraldy, and then friendship.
Superior firepower, magic, emeraldy, and friendship.
What are we talking about?
I think where we rank.
We're kind of talking about our religion. So, I mean, if anything, Kenneth, you should probably feel really honoured that we gave you superior firepower.
Can we go check out that tree?
Yeah, no, why not? And then after that we can go to bed.
Well, gamble, fight, go to bed.
Yeah,
yes.
A little rebel rousing. I think Pothole hasn't gotten drunk in a long time. I know you guys get a kick out of that.
Yeah, man.
I really do.
He works really hard, so I'm kind of starting to let him let loose a little bit at times.
And,
I don't want to be.
a sanctioned fight might be a good place for Tabidi.
Put Pothole in a sanctioned fight?
No.
Put Tabidi in it. I mean, ask Tabidi.
That's an actual child.
He might be able to practice not folding people in half when he's done with it.
Yeah, but what if he fails? What if he practices and fails his practice and he folds?
He's a kid. No one. Yeah, he's a kid. No one's going to hold him.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Hey, Tabidi, do you think, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that you could be non-lethal with your violence?
No.
there's a problem.
Okay,
Therein
everybody,
lies the issue.
the word count is 1.
Like, they're probably gonna have you
now
go up against
for
another
Tabidi.
kid, and if I just witness kid-on-kid violence, I don't know.
Yeah, would they even allow me in?
I mean, if you had a waiver from like your parents, it's kind of like a Harry Potter
we got the
situation.
two
here.
parents right here.
Trench coat on pothole. You just walk in-
TB pot,
Yes.
TBD.
the bee-hole.
beady.
We actually have been doing that so I can get Pothole some secret alcohol. Oh, shoot. I shouldn't have said that.
Oh my.
He just called you a snitch.
I'm not gonna have that kind of language out of you. That's the last time.
That's 15 words from Matt.
He's gonna
tonight.
explode.
So the over-under has been busted.
You gave me the line.
No one gets any money, folks. Sorry.
All right, so you guys are heading to the
Matt, you
Mother's
rigged
Touch.
it?
Okay.
Matt took the over.
Cut that. Matt did not rig it. We're getting that
No,
money
he
from
did not
Vegas.
rig it, no.
Okay.
Look at you,
So-
Caesar Sportsbook.
Making your way
Caesar
back
salad.
in the direction that is indicated by the large tree. You can see as you guys approach. Again, this area seems to be more populated with ruins. Sorry, not ruins. Ruins. And
Ruins.
a couple of tent cities, but most of it is ruins, and most of the activity is congregated. But you can see this large stone structure that is actually built in the bottom of this tree. This tree looks to be anywhere from 80 to 120 feet from side to side, and setting inside of it in the hollowed out bottom of the tree where the bark begins to intertwine with some of the stonework is this temple, where you can see anywhere from 20 to 30 people are kind of walking through and about. The temple itself is beautifully designed. Most of it is covered in this foliage or ivy or some other type of plant life. The inside of it, a very basic stone floor with a few shrines and a couple of places where people are stopping and praying or having a conversation with what looks to be the religious leadership here. And you can see that the religious people, the priests or whomever these people are, all are wearing what looks to be these very simple kind of green and brown robes with different types of tattoos across their arms.
Oh, nice.
In like the shape of almost like Japanese clouds or waves that are all kind of like scrolling across their arms in like soft reds or deep blues. It's very pretty. But as you guys walk in, you're immediately greeted by one of these individuals. Looks to be a slender, younger female, just kind of raven black hair, kind of tied up behind, with you swear might be a little bit of elven blood with some more finer features. But she greets you all with a smile, and she says, "Welcome to the Mother's Touch, temple to the Wild Mother. My name is Astira. Can I be of service to you?"
I was really hoping her name was going to be Raven, so I could say that's so Raven, but that's all gone.
How do you spell her name?
Estira, Estera,
Which actually translates to raven in her language. So you can say it.
Yeah, it's in Sylvan it is.
That's so
Raven.
Astira, if
I
I'm
speak
right.
Sylvan. I'm scared though. Be cool if I did though.
I got it.
Okay,
Hey,
thank you.
Astira, ma'am. Sorry,
Yes.
didn't mean to raise my voice here. We're
It's
actually
alright.
looking for something, maybe a lead. I don't know. It's weird that we are here like explicitly to look for dwarves, but we're kind of looking for an abandoned dwarven mining town somewhere in the Brasslands, and we've been wondering if we could find any dwarven person with a little bit of history on that subject. And we've kind of been dry bones to this point. We've gone to the shrine, and it didn't seem like anybody believes in the old hammer in this city, so we came to the next biggest one.
At least you don't say it openly.
That doesn't surprise me. Most of the individuals who would worship the Allhammer would keep it in secret, as it is more predominantly a dwarven religion, and the Black Treaty kind of blurs the lines between what is allowed and not allowed, and if a dwarf were to see that, it probably wouldn't go over very well. But there are people here, and some of our patrons or followers do know of many people who follow the Allhammer. but you won't find them publicly displaying that, obviously.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. We're looking for someone maybe there'd have been a dwarf there. Like, hey, if you're going to find a dwarf, where are you going to find him? Probably at the one shrine to a dwarven god, you know.
That is true. I don't know if you're going to find many dwarves, though. Most of them stay across the border for good reason.
Has there been any, like, dwarf that's, like, you know, because, like, it's, like, I don't know, curious, or, like, I don't know, like, has there been any, like, dwarf sightings, or, like, I don't know, like...
Well, yeah, you gotta think, like, if you're from, like, a smaller town, you know, there's gotta be a good tavern.
Like, imagine if Ohiana, like, walked into a small gated community.
Yeah, they'd probably call the police.
They probably, yeah.
They have done that in a small gated community.
They have.
Lucian, you would know that.
Oh, shit!
I mean, it's not just because she was helping someone break into a house.
I was trying to...
And then she actually assaulted the officers that happened too. Remember that time she tried to blow up the head of one of the guards?
Hey, listen, we don't need
I'm
all
sorry,
of our
I
faults
didn't want
out
to be
here.
arrested.
I'm going to stop this conversation right here because it's getting fraught.
I respect that. Oh, I'm sorry to do that in front of you, Stira. There's a Stira here.
It's quite alright.
So, yeah, like I asked, is there any...
loves piping hot tea. She's like, yeah.
I think that she, like, grin on it, like, we kind of enjoy it a little bit.
Steep in that.
She's like, I can't wait to get back home and talk to my gals. This is gonna be so...
I am sending a scry message to my husband right
These
now.
have been so boring at the temple.
Until they walked.
I don't even believe in this god, but let me tell you, he answered a prayer today.
I'm about to get all hammered.
That is something a dwarf would probably say.
Oh, lass, you're about to get all hammered.
No, because they drink, you pervert.
Yeah, when they go on a date to the bar. You guys are the perverts.
I don't think so, Will.
I think so.
Like, hold on. I know.
So what do you?
I'm stopping
what do
the
you guys
conversation
say?
there because it's getting a little bit fraught.
Thank you, Preston.
Yeah, that conversation is fraught for sure.
Hey, we should have been frocked 3 weeks ago if that's what we're doing now.
News.
Episode 22, we got out of hand.
All right, so what do you guys? Here we go.
You all right, buddy?
Oh no! I think I've lost my voice.
Why do you have
Cure
to
wounds,
be...
you heal.
Oh, damn it. I believe in your god now. Before we leave, could you tell us the story about your god? What was her name before she became like this? Or was she always like this? I'm very interested.
That's loaded, man. That's loaded.
The history of the Wild Mother?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, that one.
Yep.
She's had many names. Melora, the Wild Mother, and some that are probably lost to history. But she's the goddess of the earth, the nature, and all things living. She protects the living life around us and calls us to be a part of that. Be a part of that growth. Be a part of life itself, and to abide by her rules and her guidance. And those who follow her, whether you're a cleric or you take an oath to the Wild Mother, you're given the call to preserve life wherever you go.
That's very nice.
Thank you.
Was she always a god, or did she
Ascend?
Yeah, gain her divinity somehow.
Ascendance.
Ascend now.
I'm not sure. I've only been a follower of Melora for a few years now, and I'm still learning some of the histories as I progress.
I'm curious, like, about the insight that Lucius would have into. Was there probably, like, was there like a church like
Of like Melora or like the Wild Mother, like in Kane's Rest, or?
Oh, sure.
Because like that sounds like right up the alley of like. What
sure, absolutely. The Wild Mother is not a foreign concept to most people,
especially the doll.
Yeah, most people, regardless of where you're from, where you are from, words would know the majority of the Patreon that is in Tarun Mall. There are.
You said Patreon. Not
Okay.
What did I say?
You said
Patreon.
Sorry.
Coming soon.
Coming soon. No. Someday, but
it's time to go to the money zone. We can't be
it's not patrons either.
What?
Guys, I can't use words. This is killing me.
Ooh, let's roll to see who the new DM is.
Pantheon.
Oh.
Pantheon. See, can't even use that word correctly.
Pantheon. No.
Dude, I mean, everyone got it when you first said it. Everyone understood what you were saying.
And I'm supposed to be the one that talks most of the time.
The pants are
You use up your words faster than we do.
Yeah, true.
Wasn't
The
that
Pantheon,
one movie?
the Pantheon of Talwood Mall is not extensive, but most of them are pretty well known, with a few probably stragglers or outliers that are not as well known. But the Wild Mother is definitely one of them. The Lawbearer definitely is another one that strikes familiarity with a lot of people. And there probably are a few others. I won't give them away right now, but the Allhammer is definitely another one. But there are a few others that definitely probably are well known. But yeah, the Wild Mother is a pretty well-known concept, just because the message that her followers speak to is, again, growth and life.
So, Astira, you said there you parts of your clergy might know like people who do worship the Allhammer. Is there any way that you could, connect us to them? I don't know. If they're comfortable, like shoot an idea out, let them know where we're standing.
Maybe, I was about to say, give her our information. They can reach out to us.
Yeah, so if they feel comfortable,
that way she ain't outing anybody.
I'm sure. Yes,
and
absolutely.
tell them Lucius will compensate them for their trouble and stuff.
Certainly. You're looking for particularly someone who's
knowledgeable about dwarven sites, I guess.
Of course.
Kind daughter of Valura, are there any libraries, museums, or
Menorah?
You just jumped into campaign 2 for a minute.
Lemora?
Nope.
Menorah.
Melora. Sorry. Yeah. Menorah is an actual. See, guys, this is.
This table is full of menorah
this
right
now. It's full of. It is. Gosh.
Do you know of any libraries or museums or antique markets we might look to for some historical maps?
We're about to upscale. Is that what it's called?
There may be a few. There's definitely a cartographer here in the city.
That would be perfect. Actually, a map maker would be perfect.
Certainly.
How tall is he?
Make me a map.
I'm sorry?
Find me a find.
I don't know. I
Kill
can't.
me a cat.
No, we're
Preach.
not killing cats.
Not yet.
The Pokemon thing?
No, that's every time now. I'm not sure how tall he is. Or they, I don't know them. I do know there is a cartographer here in the city, but I've never met them.
Do you know any lead, like where they may be, or like if they have a shop or a place?
They certainly do. It would be in the city market.
And that is. I'm sorry, I'm new here. Is that like towards the center? Or?
Yes, absolutely. The city market is based around the fortress itself.
I see. Okay.
Yes, the fortress is. Mostly inhabited by denizens of the city. Parts of it completely blocked off to most everybody. But a few places that are still open house individuals or shops of different kinds.
Okay,
I feel like it's the place to go.
Here's a 5 gold donation to the church or whatever. Yeah.
Yes,
cool.
Thank you.
We're gonna have to take up a contract just so that way he can have money again. Like as this whole conversation is happening, like I leaned over to Pothole for 2 seconds, and when she said the Wild Mother goes by many names and only named 2 names, like Cliff just leans over and is like, "All right, I'm out. She doesn't know anything." And then just vaguely stared the whole time.
Just associated.
She goes by many names, and then she named 2 names. She's like, "All right,
There's this one.
That's many, bro."
And that one.
Do you want more of them?
No,
I can
no.
give you more of them.
No.
I was just hoping that maybe one of her many names was
Like
the
Penny
an
Whistle?
old friend of ours.
Oh no,
Alright.
Michelle's first character before she decided she didn't want to be a druid.
Yeah.
When we meet this new guy, we're gonna have
Nena?
a plan.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Like
would
her original incarnation.
Hollowed out
Nena, your
because it's a temple.
business.
that would be funny, but it would also throw off my entire story. So no.
Yeah.
I thought Drew was just trying to see how much you prepared for this session.
There was that too.
I am.
No,
But
I just like to give him a chance to like expound. It's fun.
I love talking about lore. It's great, especially when it's my own.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good chances, you know. Like sometimes we'll never get it unless we ask very
That's true.
pointed questions.
I appreciate
Give us
that.
10 more names.
10 more names?
No.
I could give you 3 more, but 2 of them would spoil the rest of this game for you. All right, so
Oh, now we gotta look
I
for
grab,
other
her,
names.
I grab her by her scruff, say, "You know more than you're saying. What are the other names?" Give me the
Where were the other names going?
I'm gonna roll
Balefire's
an
like,
intimidation.
picks her up, sort of burnt
Set
like
the
flames.
tree on fire?
I
Yeah.
roll an intimidation check.
Shut up. GTFO.
What is that?
9.
Plus 8. That's 7.
Nice.
I'm joking.
I know you are. That's why I wasn't giving
Alright,
it any.
so for
He
this,
would not.
for
But
this,
with that information, we will be looking up our other names now.
I'm sure you
speaking
will.
of for looking at other names, we're gonna go towards some. Alright, do we have time?
We're about to Facebook this girl. Yes, we are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the name
we
is
did.
Oh, yeah, I would like to head towards the cartographer. Guys, never mind.
No, mate, you were onto something. Usually you're not like the one that kind of leads things, so I'm actually pretty juiced about this. Could you keep going?
I was just I don't know. So all my social batteries running out. I can't.
Is this Preston or is this your character?
It's my character. Preston has today. I'm good on social battery.
Alright.
Yeah. And
Come on,
Fulton.
you've got this, buddy. Just a little bit more.
Okay, to the cartographer.
As you're leaving, Kenneth, there's a moment as you're walking out where you're looking at all these like little places that people are gathering and talking. You can see there looks to be 3 individuals. 2 of them look to be like they're in a praying stance, and one of them seems to be kind of having like talking to them. And they're standing by this wood carving, beautifully done wood carving, kind of orange and tan, with these striations of like the wood grain going, and it creates this beautiful form of a woman who's standing there in what looks to be this long, kind of flowing dress that kind of wraps around the front and kind of like filters out past her feet. And you can see woven through the fabric of this wood, and again, it's a wood carving, but it looks well, not real, but the detail is amazing. But you can see there's like vines and flowers and different kind of things kind of wrapping up around their body. This long, very voluminous hair that falls behind the shoulders with these like a flower crown that kind of sets up top of it. And you can see this individual, this statue carving, has one hand that kind of holds out like this, and another hand that is one hand palm out, and the other hand palm up, as if like
So it's a high 5 and a low 5 situation.
yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
But you immediately notice the thing that draws your immediate attention is that in the palm that is out down low, as if offering something, there appears to be this wreath that sets in their hand, and the wreath looks familiar. It's not perfectly round; it's more oval shaped. And it's got these.
For an egghead.
It's got these. It looks like it's got like grass and like leaves and stuff again wrapped around it. Again, all carved from wood, but beautifully done. But there's also like rope or hemp or something that's tying this all together. But there's 3 of them that draw through it.
Oh, they look familiar?
Looks very familiar.
Very
Like on my
familiar.
arm?
Yeah.
What was that girl's name? Alcinia.
Nailed it.
Not even.
Aspartame.
Influenza. What's your name? I don't know.
Tuberculosis.
But that is, you catch that out of the corner of your eye for a moment and are caught off guard by.
Is my party already leaving? Or
Well,
like...
everyone's making their way out and
Yeah.
talking about going to cartographer.
Hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay, so you turn around, sprint back
Yeah,
in.
skirt back in.
Are you looking for?
Aloysius.
Antioxidant.
Antibiotic.
American cheese.
You're looking for.
Alfred.
So you are you looking specifically for Asteria again?
Yeah, because I think she'll be, well, presumably she's only been there a couple of years, but maybe she'll know somebody else who I could talk to maybe a little bit.
Well, there is another priest who was talking to the 2 praying people that I pointed out.
Alpaca,
You
yeah.
ask him about the girl's whereabouts, and he says, "What? She died 12 years ago on a
That's so weird.
Her name's Carrie?
That would have been
No, it's
if I do
Charlemagne.
that, this story just goes off the rails at this point.
The god
We
Charlemagne.
never figured it out.
Wait, I think we found the real storyline now.
Charlemagne the god.
Trance the Rapper, come back here.
Focus, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'll go up to one of those priests.
Okay, so you approach the priest that is standing by the statue.
Yes.
Okay. As you walk up, the two individuals are still kind of like huddled together, but praying, and the individual standing there again with the green and brown robes is kind of, it seems like leading them in some sort of like prayer of some kind. And as you approach, they kind of like look up and see you and smile. It looks to be an older gentleman, this long kind of thin beard that is tied at different points to create this kind of foot and a half kind of ponytail, I guess. As of their beard, the top of their head slightly balding, definitely thinning near the top, but still presentable. As he sees you approach, he has kind eyes and a kind smile, and he's, "Yes, dear."
So I got questions, if
Of
you
course.
wouldn't mind helping me. My name's
Happy to do
Kenneth.
so.
What's
My name is Lyle.
Lyle? Nice
Yes.
name. Great name.
Pleasure.
What does that crown mean? The crown in her hand. What is it?
You're referring to
The statue.
The statue.
Yeah.
The wreath in the Wild Mother's hand is a symbol of her blessing. It is bestowed upon her followers. The stories are that those who searched for the Wild Mother, the first followers, the true followers of Melora, gave her a wreath of flowers and growth as an offering. And she accepted it and has since used it as a symbol to bring her followers together, and we use it as a marker for our kind.
Okay, very nice. Was that statue the same person that I saw? Like, does it look similar to the person that I saw in my vision?
Her fugue state.
Yeah.
You've never seen the face of that person in the fugue state.
Does the overall
ears.
structure,
Bodice.
Pointy ears.
Bodice?
Yeah.
You can't.
the robes, are the robes the same?
The robes are. The person you saw didn't wear any like
Clothes.
grass
They're
robes.
naked? Oh, what
No,
kind
they
of
didn't wear
vision?
any. They weren't wearing any grass robes. From the profile of this person versus the profile of the person that you've seen, there is no similarity that you know of. But again, you don't have physical details of the person in your fugue state. That,
Okay. Well, then, with that information, is it? Have you ever heard of people just getting those symbols sometimes? Like maybe in a state of unconsciousness. You ever heard of anybody just showing up with those before? Maybe.
That seems odd. What exactly are you referring to? Do you have a friend who's cursed, or is there something you...
No, not necessarily friend. Am I in good company?
Insight check.
My dear,
Insight check.
make an insight check before they say anything.
Thank you. Yeah, what's the vibe? Give me the overall vibe.
Vibe check.
Ooh, 15.
15.
Yeah.
Does not seem doesn't seem to have ill intent.
Nice.
Anyhow, Lyle continues. My dear, anything you bring to the Wild Mother, whether it be supplication or transgression, is respected and kept in privacy to all our people here. This is a safe space.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of crane around. Can I show you something?
Of course.
Okay, I will show him. I'll roll up my sleeves.
And as you do, you can see the symbol. At this point, as you've been looking at it, you were going off of basic geometric shapes. But now that you are looking at it and looking at this wreath of flowers in the hand of this statue of Melora, you can see the similarities are striking. It doesn't necessarily look like... I know we made jokes about, it's a baguette or like a weird-looking piece of bread. But now that you're looking at it, it's like, oh, that's a wreath. again, it is rough shape and embedded in your skin, but it is almost identical. And you can see Lyle is looking at it for a moment. Do you mind if I use a bit of the Wild Mother's one? And he reaches into a small pouch and pulls out a couple of different elements and kind of begins to grind them together. And you watch as he puts them in this small little bag and shakes it up a little bit. These kind of flakes of something kind of puffing out as the air goes through it. And he kind of sprinkles it on your arm, and kind of it lays there as kind of herbs and spices of some kind.
11 of them, I bet.
Smells great. But he begins to sweep all that back into the bag and muttering a few things as he does, and he shakes it one more time and inhales. And you watch as his eyes are closed, and he just inhales for a moment and just stops and then opens his eyes. That is very peculiar. The
B.O.?
But no.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Your face was just...
Apologies. I have never encountered something like this before. You have the blessing of the Wild Mother. At least, that's all I can ascertain. You are not a follower of the Wild Mother.
I ain't never really heard about her or nothing, no.
And yet...
So
the only what I can describe only as a blessing has been bestowed upon you.
So does that mean I have to follow her religion, or what does that mean for me? Because
my dear, I don't know. This is Melora blesses those who wish to champion her cause. You have been given a blessing without question, but a blessing of which I have never seen the likes of before.
Well, hey.
Whatever magic or mystery was bequeathed to you in this symbol is far older than anything I have ever seen in my years of faithfulness to the Wild Mother. It is old magic.
That's what I've heard. I have heard that Udall might be the place to go to find out more as well.
Anyone with an extensive knowledge of the ancient magics would be your best bet, but unfortunately, most of those people are few and far between.
Especially in the Brasslands.
Unfortunately, exclusively in the Brasslands. A dwarf can live for hundreds of years, elves even longer, and their memories would dwarf ours in the vastness of things that they know, but they are hard to come by.
Is there a main temple
to the Wild Mother?
Yeah.
There are certain sites that are more widely accepted as focal points for her magic and for her devotion, but no, there is not one place that is a main temple.
Do you have a scroll or something listing off the sites that maybe I could have?
Unfortunately, no. Those of us who pilgrim for the Wild Mother, do so in hopes of finding more like us. The Brasslands is not take kindly to those who preach our beliefs. They see us as stuck in the old ways of nature and, being one with the trees. But when you live in a world that is advancing quickly, your kind gets left behind. But we do what we can, and we hold true to the beliefs that, we are here to bring life to those around us. But whatever this is, it is something I have never seen before.
Well, that's quite miraculous, and I'll go ahead and pull my sleeve down.
Indeed it is. I would not be ashamed of what you have. It's not a mark of shame or a curse. It is
I'm not ashamed of it. I don't want people asking any questions about it that I don't know the answers to, or thinking that I'm some sort of threat for something. Especially here in the Brasslands, you know how antsy everybody is about that sort of thing.
Of that I am aware.
Well, if you don't have any more knowledge, again, my name's Kenneth.
Kenneth.
I don't know how you'd be able to reach out to me. I can maybe tell you where I usually stay back.
If ever I needed to reach you, I'm sure the Wild Mother would find a way.
Maybe ask some of your colleagues if you know about that.
I am, as fate would have it, I am setting out on a pilgrimage in 3 days' time to meet with a few other followers across the Brasslands and even beyond. I will speak to them of what is...
That'd be helpful.
Of what has happened to you and see if anyone has a way of connecting the dots.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
Before I go, because I need to jet. I got people waiting for me. They may have already left me in the dust. Good and well. Do you have any books or anything or any sort of written something or other that I could read up about Wild Mother, since I've been blessed by this mysterious deity? Y'all got pamphlets?
I wouldn't call it mysterious, but...
well, it's a mystery to somebody who ain't never heard of any of it.
This is true. You know what? Yes. Here. And he goes to the foot of the statue where you can see there looks to be a small kind of rucksack that was laying against it, and kind of digs through it a little bit, pulling out a small tome that seems to be kind of bound and kind of wrapped with some string, and he kind of hands it over to you. A tome that I was given in my early days when I was first learning how to master the art of the Wild Mother. It has some of my musings and teachings. Perhaps you can find some enlightenment through that. I can't guarantee it has all the answers. It, again, is merely the handwritings of a young boy who was learning how to come into his own, as it is. But perhaps the history of the Wild Mother will enlighten you in some ways.
That'd be real nice. Ken's gonna slap the book on the statue and be like, thanks, lady, I guess. And all right, I'm gonna jet. You have a good one. Thank you for all this.
May the Wild Mother watch over you.
And same to you. Praise be.
All right. With that not awkward at all conversation, you make your way to gather up with your friends and head into the city to find a cartographer.
I don't know if you know this. Kenneth is not very...
charismatic.
Unawkward, yeah.
Unawkward.
No.
I love what that says about like your state of mind, Michelle. That things are described as unawkward.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like awkward is baseline.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay,
dude.
that's all of the people at this table.
Honestly.
What do you mean?
Moving to the
I just put my head on fangs all the time.
moving to the cartographer's shop, you can definitely find there is a cartographer in the city. They do have a shop, and you can ask any question you want at the cartographer's shop.
What's the cartographer shop?
How you
called?
doing?
And what's his name? Or what's their name?
Oh dear God, here we go.
It's Maps. Nailed it.
That's maps.
It does not have a name. It appears to be
Maddie's Map Shack.
temporary. It is a temporary establishment. It seems
It's a
like
pop-up.
Yes, this cartographer seems to be here temporarily.
The topography pop-up.
No.
The top
pop-up. The top pop-up.
The top pop-up.
It's like they tried to put pop-up in the middle of topography.
Topography.
Herblurgingverse.
Someone needs to stop pictures.
Pop-up
Topography.
Pop-up topography. Pop-up
pop-up topography.
Hop on top, up top, topography.
Fox in socks on Crocs in
He sells socks too.
Yes. He sews them in his
Crocs and
pastime.
maps.
He sews them in his pastime.
I will not buy them in a box, though. I will not buy those socks and Crocs.
Would you buy them
From a fox? No, not that either.
The cartographer's name was Dr. Seuss, ironically.
All right.
No.
What about with some locks?
That is a PhD, not an MD, everybody.
Yes.
It's a doctorate in cartography. He's not a surgeon.
Actually, it's a doctorate in the liberal arts, and he took cartography as a minor.
Okay. Okay, yep.
He took cartography as a kid?
Yeah.
He took one cartography class when he was getting his, social sciences degree.
And he decided, you know what? This will be my fallback career.
He doesn't make maps, he just sells them.
He's just like, you can bullshit maps.
They're the ones you get for free when you drive into a new state and you go to the little... And he just takes
the welcome centers, every time.
He wrote "at last" on all of them because he misread that it's supposed to be an atlas.
It's Tingle, right?
What a full character we've created.
Yeah, go ahead and make a character sheet for this guy.
Yeah,
we're bringing him along on this adventure.
What's that?
Any question?
Any question?
For, finding maps.
I mean, he has an extensive amount of maps if you want to...
Yeah, we just pointedly ask him, hey, we're looking for... we can get... Balefire can give a loose, idea of where he thinks we were, and we can kind of cross-reference if you want one of us to make a check.
Okay.
But that's specific. We came here for one thing, is to find a map to a lost orb mining town.
Okay.
And then check it.
Make a... Well, I will roll and see what...
How do you spell the name of this town again? Sorry.
M-E-T-A-L.
Where's the apostrophe?
E.
M-E-T-A-L.
I thought you were being sarcastic when you said that.
No. It's the E with the comma to the top.
Oh, okay.
That's God's comma.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought Drew was being Drew.
He is.
Oh, so it's metal. Where's the...
Drew is using an old map maker's name generator on the internet to come up with a name for this. Maps to the past.
Boo.
Yeah.
Maps to the future
Maps
would be way
that you
better
can
than that.
feel. Oh, I like that one.
That's like the tagline.
Maps of the future.
Ooh, it's like Ray's topography maps.
Varicolored ancient.
No, he was a stripper before he was a map maker, and that was his stripper name.
Ex-vintage.
Calvin, did you roll?
Yeah, he rolled a 4. He has no idea where it is. No.
Let me talk to your wife or otherwise romantic partner. They're the ones that always know the goods.
The cartographer tells you that there is older dwarven ruins outside of the city. Doesn't know exactly where they are, but gives you a general direction of where you can go. So basically, closer to the border, but not crossing the border. It would be, I'm trying to visualize in my head, east of the city, closer to Crocodar. He says go eastward and follow along the border, and that would be his best guess of the information that he's been provided. He says it could be anywhere from a day's walk to, a 4-day travel to all the way to the shore. But he said east is definitely where he has been told stuff has been uncovered before.
Well, it seems like we need to go east.
But it seems like it's a few days travel to get out that way. So,
all right. Well, I think we need to go.
Do we gamble and then sleep?
Yeah, I think we should probably call it a night and tomorrow get ready to go.
So,
okay. Or you have 2 questions?
Yes. Where do you know, general location of Leonin prides, kind of across the continent?
Yes, he says that he's come across a few places where Leonin prides were once seen, but any up-to-date information is not readily available, given that he hasn't been outside the Brasslands for probably about 1.5 years now. He's been traveling mostly in here, but last he met a Leonin tribe not far from the Narrow Peaks is where he said he last saw the a tribe of Leonins.
Okay.
So,
and then also regions of undead.
Regions of undead?
Yes, if that exists.
There is nowhere where there is a congregation of undead. He hasn't heard any kind of rumor. Oh my gosh, just unwrap it at this point.
It's under the table.
You got yelled at this time.
I was scared because I thought you looked right at me, and I was like, all I'm doing, I'm just fiddling with my hands. Like,
No, it's just what sounds like a crackling fire just underneath the table as I'm trying
I can pick it up.
the shop is
None of
on
the
fire.
information you asked me.
Hold on.
The match.
Balefire just lost.
Yeah, Balefire just starts burning. He's like, oh, sorry. No, there is no concentration of undead that he is aware of in his travels.
Okay.
So. But he never, on that note, he never has, looked for concentrations of undead. So, yeah, it's usually avoid that
What
stuff.
do you call a group of undead?
No.
I don't know, Drew. What do you call a group of undead?
I don't know. No, I'm just...
Oh, you were just asking.
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke. I was really excited for some...
No.
No, I'm good.
I mean, because a concentration of undead... It could be that.
It is a graveyard.
What's a group? A graveyard.
A graveyard. Yep. There's a concentration of undead. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's a gold.
There you go. All right, you guys have information. This is on you guys. This is on you guys to
Yeah,
do
we're gonna
something.
go. We're
Yeah.
gonna call it a night, and then probably tomorrow. I think we're gonna have to head east.
The Narrow Peaks.
Yeah.
Make a history check.
Oh, I got it.
What?
No.
A resurrection.
Because this doesn't have to deal with...
That's close. I was gonna call it a boner march.
This doesn't have to deal with fake fever
That
undead.
is so close.
It does not. No.
Well, you had a
A whole
erection.
bunch of stiffs.
Just yep.
Dang it! Why do I roll you? 6.
6. You know where they are.
Oh,
They're in Udall.
okay.
That's all you know.
What do you call an undead bar?
You made me so
It's a
excited.
stiff
I was
joint.
like, oh, I know where they are.
Yeah, you know where they're in
In
Udall.
the general area.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's about it.
if you ever make a bar full of for undead, it's
Yes.
a stiff joint. This is from Will. That's the name of it.
A bar
stiff
for
joint.
the undead
Yeah,
specifically.
A pub for
Or
the
maybe
undead.
with the theme of undeath.
Called the Stiff Joint.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, the stiff joint can be located at the bottom level of the Cough Inn.
Oh,
Oh, that one hurts a little more, but I like where you're going with
I
it.
can't stop. Someone derailed me.
Cough is just the name of the original
It's
proprietor.
a dungeon
KOFF.
crawl, but
Yeah.
like when you guys need to stop and rest, you find the Stiff Joint, which is just a little pub in the dungeon. That's just like
Oh my
Yes, like how you sometimes
yeah,
find
it's like we
a
serve
little
all
bar
the
at a
adventurers
train
that walk
station.
through here. It's like a little way
No,
station.
what
Yep.
if Khedive Mudaza is like, yeah, I have all sorts of places set up all over. This is just like my next speakeasy pop up.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just a bird. It's just a bird bath in the middle
Khedive
of
is
the...
just Drew living out his dream of making bars everywhere he goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, Drew Drop In is still.
Toby Keith's already
drop
doing
in.
that.
Dude, drop into the Drew drop in.
It sounds like you're midway through a stroke when you say Drew drop it.
Dude, drop into the Drew.
He sounds like me trying to talk right now. So, you guys make your way back to the silver chair as the evening comes, not to an end, but begins to get darker. You can see that the inn and the tavern and the adjacent area is full of individuals. The din of food and drink and games being played is pretty prominent, but that is where you guys are after you have gained your information, and you can do whatever it is your heart desires.
Probably
Alright,
Gomble.
rollies.
Yeah. I think the thought was to Gomble.
Sure, go
Gomble.
right ahead.
What,
I would
what
like
games
to.
are there?
Several games.
Just give us one. You don't want to do that to us.
I can definitely do that. There is. Give me just a second.
And this would be the perfect opportunity to bring in a new character. Who's at the table? Why is there a dwarf? Holy shit, who's the dwarf at the table?
There can't be dwarfs at a table. Have you not heard any of the lore here? They're not allowed to cross the border.
Maybe this was...
He just shows up.
He's in disguise.
You guys can't leave the damn town, so I can't bring him
Okay, I don't want
across
to
the
gamble.
border.
That's... Yeah.
I mean, we're doing that tomorrow.
Bro, that perfect bar smells
there
so
is-
peanut buttery. And
There's a game
Nothing
called
but
Jip
nut butters.
being played.
What?
I was talking to Ohiana. There's a game called Jip being played if you would like to participate in that one. A very simple game. It is a 5 gold piece buy-in, and it's fairly straightforward. You roll 2d6, and if you get a 7 or 12, you win.
I'm in.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm in.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm going to watch.
So
I don't think I'm old enough.
Can I?
I never gambled before. That's
just
a lot.
like over the entire table for cheaters.
Yep, absolutely.
I'll watch with them. I ain't gonna gamble.
Okay.
I'm getting ready for my
She
fight.
does have a set of weighted dice. Can I use those and get advantage?
You're looking out for the sneaky snake.
I would
turns
say
out.
yes. You can have advantage on this roll to see
Yeah, but
if you can get
but
a 7
our
or a
armor's
12.
like
What is my?
my man.
I said.
Can I borrow an extra D6?
There is another caveat to
don't
this.
have any.
You can double your bet and roll a third d6 if you want to try to hit a 7 or 12 that way as well.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Can you drop one of your dice?
Yeah, so it's any combination of 7 or 12. So, but you again, it has to be 7 or 12. So, but yes, you start with 2, and you can add a third one if you want.
Hey, Liz got 7.
I got 7 on
Can I still do
the
6 from
Congratulations, you have earned 1, 2, 3, 25 gold pieces for that.
Wait, what?
Well, 20 because you
But
put 5.
did I lose money?
I lost 5 gold.
Did you?
Oh, I didn't roll yet.
Yeah, you didn't roll.
I lost 5 gold. I'm out.
7 or 12?
7 or 12.
And then I
You can add one more for another 5 gold.
Oh damn!
Did you get a 6?
I got a 6. No,
You can
it's
add
all
another
good.
dice.
That's a perfect
Another five
Yeah.
gold in there
Uh-huh.
because I'm quirky like that.
Yeah, you can add a 1.
Do I catch like young?
Make a perception check with advantage.
5, 10.
10, not enough.
I almost
Damn.
You
freaking
lose 10
rolled
gold.
that freaking mother truck.
Zeph is looking for the sanctioned fight guy.
You're looking for
Delmar.
Hector, what is
Hugo.
his name? Hugo, yeah.
What's the dog's name?
Oh, I love that.
18.
No. This is originally.
Make a sleight of hand check for me.
Ooh.
Okay.
I would say with advantage because you do have your weighted dice. I want to see if he catches you with his 18. You just have to roll above an 18 with your sleight of hand.
You have advantage on this. And I give him guidance. I'm just kidding.
Most likely.
Okay, give her guidance.
No, I don't. That's a joke.
Okay.
Lucius doesn't know
So
because
just,
You said I
yeah.
get advantage?
You do get advantage, yep.
I'm a
It's a nat 20.
roll again. See if you get it.
Okay.
See if
Oh,
you got roll.
jeez.
We live in
That
a
one's
world.
not, but
Lucius
yeah,
one
so
face
it would have been
away.
a
Yeah, it
28.
was 28. Yeah, you're fine.
Scanning the do I catch anyone else?
No, not at this table. This table seems to be pretty straightforward. Again, it's a very simple game, so there doesn't seem to be a lot of like cheating that can occur, and nobody seems to be.
Is your dude a narc?
Nah, he's just
Shrug.
Yes.
You don't really know Outermoon that much.
that much. You can
Okay.
get to know him if you ask questions. Ask.
Anyone else doing
I've
anything
been
before the
off and
night
on
comes
throughout
to
the party, like a
its
third party.
end?
No, I'm good.
No?
chilling.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right.
I learned my lesson.
After gaining some gold and getting some drinks, food is brought. You guys can eat, and you can head to your rooms to get a rest for the night before you, I assume, head out the following day
Yes.
to begin your journey eastward to see if you can figure out where an old dwarven city is. And that is where we will end tonight's session and pick up next time with the continuation of the story from Métal City into the borderlands between
Borderlands.
well, yeah.
Which one?
Lands in between. The border in between the lands. Anyhow, until next time, thank you guys so much for playing. Thank you all for listening. Until then, goodbye, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Wild Magic School Bus. I hope you had as much fun listening as we do making this for you. You can catch new episodes each Monday on whatever podcast platform you use. And while you're there, leave a review if you want. It actually really helps us out. And we've got socials too. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Wild Magic Pod or on Reddit at r/WildMagicSchoolBus. Either way, stop by and say hello. We're always happy to meet new friends. See you next time.
He's waiting to play off something.
It's like the.
Okay. He needs more to go off.
No, I'm pretty sure you're warmed up already. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wild Magic School Bus, the most unprofessional D&D podcast you will ever hear, as brought to you by Drew in that moment.
Is it canon that Drew just got fluffed?
Yeah, probably. Okay. I, of course, am your DM. Whoa! I just realized what you said. No, it's not canon. It's not canon.
I will tell you that I did not find that satisfactory. That's what we're calling fluffing.
I am redacting that. That is not what happened.
I got teased, maybe?
That's fair. Maybe just cut this. You got it.
That's the end of the episode.
Hey, there it is. There's the end of the episode right there. That's good.
Are you itching for a good story? Laughter among friends, maybe even a mystery or two? Well, you're in luck. Fire Breathing Kittens is a standalone Dungeons & Dragons podcast. Each episode is a separate 3-hour-long story, like a movie for your ears, so you can listen to these adventures in any order you like. So, join us on a real play D&D quest as we solve mysteries, attempt comedic banter, and enjoy friendship. Fire Breathing Kittens podcast. Fantasy, action, mystery, friendship.